Hey everyone, today I'm going to be working on the engine. I got some stuff I'm going to put on it and declutter it while I'm going to do some tune-up stuff on it. Plugs, wires, cab, rotor, whatever. If there's anything else in there I need, I'll swap it out while I'm in there. I'll show you exactly what I'm probably going to end up doing. Alright, so right here, this is just like a mid-80s, 87 454 Chevy big block. HEI, wires, whatever. It's got some weird stuff on here. I'm going to take off all this emission stuff, deleting it. That's the air pump for the converters. Deleting that. Anything else in there that I'm going to take off, I'll show you how I did it and why I did it. There's just a bunch of extra stuff like this off. Yeah, these of course. And maybe declutter some of this, make it run a little better. Alright, let me bring you in here. So, on this side, I just took it off. It was right here. And it went right down to the converter. I'm not sure if you can see that real good. But here's the other one. So this had two of these. And two of these valves here. Plugs on them. Little valve here. These actually connected this air pump here. This air pump, all it was used for is to pump air into your catalytic converters. What that does is supposed to stoke it up to like 1400 degrees, and any kind of unburned fuel, it'll just burn it up. It's all part of the emissions thing here that I'm eliminating. So I'm pulling it off. This one had two of these. I already pulled the other side off, so if you're not sure what it is, I'm going to pull it off, and then hopefully she'll run a lot better after that too. Alright, so this pump I took off. It didn't even have a shared bracket. It had its own little bracket with it. So this air pump, I'm going to go ahead and pull this bracket off, and that's a good thing that it wasn't sharing one, and it wasn't even sharing a belt. It had its own belt on it, so took her right off. Now I'm going to take this off. I like this here. Look at this. Really these all vacuum lines and all this stuff. Really, what? Why does this even goes? Alright, well, I was in here. I'm gonna go ahead and do a tune-up on it anyway. And I noticed right here, see all this black? That means it was not making a good contact right here on the rotor, and it was shooting everywhere it could to try to get to ground as fast as it could. And it was there. And I look in here, this is stuck in. It needs to have a spring inside of it where it's able to move in and out easily, and it is just frozen in it. It won't even move. So all they were doing was just bending the crap out of this to make contact, and it wasn't actually pushing down on it. So that's a good thing I was in there anyway. This is probably the same age as the vehicle, so I might end up looking in here and worst case scenario, I'll just replace the whole distributor. But finding all kinds of little baby issues that cause it not to start up real good. Well, let's keep digging. All right. I don't know if you can see this, but I went ahead and I'm taking all the emission stuff off of it. There's two compressors on this for the converters. There's another one, and taking that one off, two of them. While I'm in here, I took the fan off the water pump. I don't know if you can see it real good. Here's the water pump. Now listen. I'm gonna get to it. The water pump. Listen, listen. Now listen now. Water pump. It's not leaking, but that bearing is bad. So, if you're in here tearing it down, might as well. Anything else while you're here, it's poking you right in the eye, you might as well just replace it. I got this part here off, and then since I'm taking that off, the belt's gonna have to be shorter. So, because it's only running a couple different things now, so now I have to measure it for a different belt. And while you're in there anyway, just go ahead and get everything done. Let's see what else I can tear apart. Alright, while I was in here, I seen there was two air pumps for the converter. Right there's the second one. One for each side. So, since I'm in here anyway, because if I wanted to come back and take care of it, it would have been another job again, doing the whole thing all over, and while I'm in here, I'll just do it. Also, I checked this out. I moved the blade for the fan and the water pump. I'm trying to get this out of your way, I'm sorry. Move the, was taking the bolts off of it, and see if you can listen to it. So it's just kind of, I don't know why it's so blurry. Come on, focus. So, now it doesn't make a lot of noise this way. The bearing feels good if you spin it. It's not grindy, but it moves up and down. So eventually that'll work. Eventually that'll end up leaking. It's not leaking, never did. You'd never know it. But you grab the fan blade and move it up and down. If you hear any noises, might as well do it since it's poking your eye out right here anyway. So putting another water pump on this too. So getting this water pump, then I have to get a belt to fit. That's it. See what else I can tear apart. Alright, so this, the timing mark I tried to line up with top dead center. And so just by tapping the key, I ran the distributor button to where it was aiming at number 1 cylinder best I could. I'm gonna end up taking a wrench and running the crank to where this mark, where is it at? Where are you at? Where are you at? That mark there, I need it to line up to this mark over here to top dead center. There's a little circle right there. That marks his top dead center. And just to fine tune. Alright, so this wrench, if you could see it good. Right here. I can just do this. Alright. Leave that over here. Okay, you see that there? Get a good angle at this thing. There it is, right there. Just look. Keep an eye out. I get this guy moved over. And there. Alright, dude. Got it. Did it. Oh. See? That was easy. So I bought these plugs, and I'm going to put the plug is here on a spot. I ended up replacing the water pump, and it came with 2 outlets on the heater hose side, and this is just the one side I don't need on this one. So I'm going to go ahead and replace that now with this. Got these here. Boop. Little plug right here. This on it. Right here. Right here. Okay. And when I torque these down, the specific torque that I usually go for is all of it. There. Alright. Out. I got some. Oh, I got extras. Let's put a little bit of grease on it. So if I ever need to pull it out again for sending in or anything, I can. And then that's it. There. Put a new intake or put a new heat outlet there. That's it there. Got this. Put my vacuum tree T on it, so it's got like all the little vacuums I might need. It's here. This is for like a brake booster, but this one don't have one. Plug this one up. This one up. Torque down. Here's my temperature gauge here. And now thermostat. Well, let me get all the stuff here. Next, now I can put the distributor in. There you go. Yeah, this bracket right here, you pull the bracket off. I take pictures too while I'm taking stuff off, especially if it has like oddball stuff. This has like a spot here for the other air pump and other stuff like that, but it's got the one slide on it for the alternator to tighten it up, so I know that goes there. Now, if you're thinking, how's this go on this way? Does it go on here? Yeah, like this. Well, this bolt right here, when I replaced the intake, had the stud on it, so I made sure when I put it back, that one there had a specific job, and it was to go right on this right here. So let's try this out. Yeah, it should line up. And in there. Oh, and those two over there on the water pump. Boom. Just like that. Oh, now I know it goes right just like that. And then this comes down and bolts right under there. And that's the only bracket I need. And I didn't have to move the power steering pump. And my alternator, bolt right on that. Alright, let me try to get this down. That's where. So far, so good. Yeah, I ended up replacing the exhaust manifold gasket while I was in here, and then I replaced the bolts with grade 8, and it had a small leak in it anyway, so I figured while I was in there, and new temperature sensor I'm going to put in there, and in that way, since I was sitting right here and pondering about this small exhaust leak it had right about here, and then fixed it, so I should be all set with that one. This ended up being the end result. I'll show you everything I replaced. While I was in here, I went ahead and replaced the complete distributor. I put a brand new HEI and coil, cap rotor, everything came with it. Replaced the intake manifold, put an air gap in it, and you can pick them up for pretty good price. Just looked online. There's a filter, replace the hoses, replace the belts, water pump, all new belts, lower radiator hose, if you can see that down there. All this emission stuff, you notice, is just gone off of it now. The only thing is basically just enough for it to run, and that you run way more efficiently. This is just a 600 CFM. They call it a street dominator or street demon. I got the paperwork right here for it. There it is. Brawler. So it's made by Holley. It's just a off-brand Holley. There it is. Vacuum secondary. And that's it. I mean, basically anybody could do this. The big three, Ford, Mopar, Chevy. If you have something older than 97 or don't have to worry about emissions, you just go ahead and just get in there and start stripping her down. Alright, so I'm done with this one. I'm going to see if she'll start up pretty good. Should start up a lot better than it did before. The other one just had vacuum leaks and all kinds of issues. Steps going up, put a little squirt in her, and that's it. She's running. This one's going to run a lot better. That's basically it. Anybody's got the older style like Chevy, Mopar, Ford models, you can get any kind of performance parts or whatever. So any of the big three you got, you can just get the intake, get a new carburetor. I mean, they're pretty much good price out there. I'm like maybe 15 minutes from Summit Racing, so if I need to get something or order online, just click on it, boop, get it sent over, and knock off all the emission stuff off of it. It's going to run a lot better, it idles better, fuel efficiency will probably be way better than it was before. Your engine will last a lot longer. Before with the EGR, you got gases going back in through the intake that you didn't burn off, and it just keeps circling around and ruins your oil and eventually trashes your bearings. Well, you know what's going on after that. So this is another one, all done. So yeah, don't be scared to tear into it. Anybody can pretty much get it done. Go in there with a little bit of mechanical know-how, start getting rid of all the stuff that you know you don't need, and just get working with it. Hey, here's a few of the things that I took off on that motor. This air cleaner inlet, I'm going to end up reusing this. I'm just going to mount it somewhere else. This is the filter for the air pumps. There's another tube bracket for the air pumps. I replaced this. This had like plugs in it, airline stuff, and it was set up for this carburetor, so when I got the Holley, I ended up just using another one. Replaced the intake manifold with an aluminum one. Two of them. Here's the air pump, first one, and then here's the second air pump. So, and then the hoses went with it. I was in here to replace the water pump because I had an issue with it, and that was it. So these are the things I took off of it.